woman, 'cause she couldn't help me with my mind. People think I'm insane because I am frowning all the time. All day long I think of things, but nothing seems to satisfy. Think I'll lose my mind if I don't find something to pacify. Can you help me occupy my brain? Oh yeah. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out Paranoid by Black Sabbath, one of the all-time great metal tunes. One that actually I think I've been playing wrong most of my life, but I'm going to show you the correct way. It's actually pretty easy when you get it right. Let's get to a close-up and check it out. That is the riff. The very, very iconic riff. First finger, 12th fret on the thicker string, third finger on the 14th fret of the 5th string, but it hammers down. So you're going to play the 12th fret on the 5th and 6th string and hammer that third finger down. The count is 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So now we're just going to leave the first finger down that whole time. We're playing the 12th fret, 14th fret hammer on the 5th string, and the same thing, 12th fret to 14th fret on the 4th string. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that riff is actually only played in the song at the very intro. It plays the complete riff through 2 times, and then we're into the verse. So the verses starts with an E power chord. That's the same as the one that we started for the very intro. First finger, 12th fret on the thicker string, third finger, 14th fret on the 5th string. And we start with 2 bars of pumping 8th notes on the E. Now pumping 8th notes means we're going to use all down picks, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This is pumping 8th notes. We've got the palm mute on, so we don't want this. That's no palm mute. We don't want 2 palm mutes, so you need to experiment with exactly where the palm is touching the strings. It's kind of half on the bridge, half not. Just experiment, see if you can get the same sort of sound like the record. It just takes a bit of exploring. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we move down 1 tone to the D, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now we've got it moves to a G chord. So kind of what happens, the third finger just lays down, so it's much more like a G, kind of a bar chord shape. You're still just targeting the power chord, but sometimes you're going to get that note in there as well. You want to get used to this G. See, it's going from flat and rolling onto the tip for the D chord. And back to the E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3. And then on beat 4, you're just targeting strings 2 and 3 under the bar there after the E chord. So you end up with 1 and 2, 3, 4. It's really tight though. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and Up with this fill, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's E for held for a bar, 2, 3, 4, C down at the 8th fret, to the D at the 10th fret, 1, and then 2 bars of pumping 8th note again. Then it's a verse again. Nothing seems to satisfy. Think I'll lose my mind if I can't find something to pacify. Now we get into this next section, so it's just an E chord held for 2 bars. 3, 4. Can you help me to the D? 1, 2, 3, 4. Occupy my brain. 3, 4. Oh, D, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have lots of this, the same verse riff, but without any singing. Then there's another verse. It goes another verse there, then there is the solo, which is the same as the verse, the chord progression. We're not going to go through the solo in this lesson. Then there's another verse without any vocals, so the verse progression. Then there's another verse. Then we have that fill part again, which was the E chord held for 1 bar, then the C, the D, and then 2 bars of pumping E. Again, another verse with no vocal, and a nice tight finish. So note there that the finish of the tune, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I do like a tight ending to a song rather than having to do the fade out, which was kind of common in that era. So relatively easy tune to do. It's one of those ones where if you really want to get it right and you want to get exactly the right amount of palm mute and a nice tight little chip there at the end of the da-do-da, chick, do-do-do-do-do. And also an important thing to note here is the pumping 8th note. It's a very even. Most kind of rock and roll stuff later than this, you get a lot of backbeat accent, so an accent on 2 and 4, but that doesn't exist in this. It's very much it's like a big, powerful kind of wall of sound. Some of you are going to ask about the sound for this one. I literally just jumped into the Kemper profiler and typed in fuzz. Found a couple of profiles. I ended up boosting a lot of the mids and a lot of the treble and a lot of the presence to try and get it scratchy like the record. I think I might have got closer if I'd used an actual fuzz pedal in front of a regular amp, a clean-ish amp, because it's not that heavy a sound. It's fuzzy and kind of breaking up a little bit in that way that they did in that era. The 60s and 70s had this sort of fuzz that was, yeah, messy and broken kind of sound, which you're most likely you're going to be looking for a fuzz sound to get that. I think that's about all to share with you on this one. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Plenty more lessons over on the website. Do go and check it out. There's hundreds of songs now over there, so bound to find something that you're going to dig as well. And lots of lessons on to help develop the technique. If you're struggling with the hammer-ons or you're struggling with the chug-in or the pick-in, there's going to be lessons over on the website that'll help you with whatever stuff you need to work on, I hope. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and I'll see you with plenty more lessons very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.